Mike's Daily Podcast.
We're in Podcastro Valleyton today. Hey.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's episode 2615. Podcastro Valleyton is what I meant to say. E-I-O. Vowels are cool, don't you know? So, what we're gonna do is pull some thread through
Mike's Daily Podcast.
the help of a needle. And this is the episode that is not called Calm, because that was the last
Mike's
one. And not like
Daily
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Podcast.com. Yeah!
But calm as when we're calm, we're cool, we're collected. That's all, is what we are. Hey, my lovely lady friend was on the last podcast. Thank you for showing up to that, lovely lady friend. I don't see her here, though, at Café Anyway today, so, oh well. But yes, a lot has changed over the past week. I meant to do a podcast yesterday, but I needed some R&R. I needed a day off. A lot of stuff going on that I've talked about in the past couple podcasts about basically in your job when a lot gets thrown on you and a lot of people don't pull their weight and a lot of people taking advantage of you. When that happens, you need to put your foot down and go over to this wonderful fence over here, this wonderful little barricade. It kind of looks like a gate. It could be of the gate, as in Spanish they say del to mean of the, like Del Taco, but they say of the, but it's a gate, and it's a gate, so you have to del a gate. That's what you got to do right there, everybody, right there.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Wow, that was a long way to go to get to that, wasn't it? But yes, you need to delegate. That's what you have to do. That's always been my hardest thing as a manager. Because I'm a manager that likes to see it get done. And sometimes when I try so hard to see it get done, I realize, well, you know, if other people don't care as much as I do, then why should I?
Baloney.
Where's the team? Where's the coach? The coaching in that scenario? But everybody's got to contribute, and that's what makes the team work. Teamwork. I know Basil hates it when I throw out platitudes like that and stupid cliches, but it makes the dream work when the team works together. Isn't that right? The late, great Basil the Boxer there, explaining that to all of us, that you need to work together as a team. But sometimes it gets you down when you're a manager, when you're a leader, and you're not getting any support. So you got to do it yourself. Sometimes I'm trying to lead by example. Other times I've overblown my circuits. I've done too much. I've gotten overheated, and I just got to stop. So that's all I have to say about that. You might have a different managerial style.
What in the world was that about?
And if you do, and you would like to share, you can call me at 510-228-4640. But everybody's got to pull their weight. And people need to stay in their lanes. And that's why we have to delegate. 510-228-4640 if you'd like to call in and explain how you look at it in this world. But yeah, I just got overheated last week, and we'll see. We'll see if hopefully things change. Things got to change in my job. Things got to change in me. And then hopefully all will be well. As everybody is having a good time here at Café Anyway, everyone's well, doing well together. What's not doing so well is Marvel. They have a thing called Thunderbolts. Yes, I didn't know about it either, but apparently it's a thing that was being worked on, and it is the latest production to find itself stymied by the ongoing writer's strike. or what they call the WGA strike. This according to The Wrap through MSN.com. It's the upcoming superhero team-up movie. It was going to begin filming in Atlanta next month, but production has been paused due to the writers' labor dispute. It was scheduled for release next year on July 26th. It will be directed by Jake Schreier from a script by Black Widow writer Eric Pearson, who is now on strike. Like the comics, Thunderbolts is effectively Marvel's version of Suicide Squad, following several popular villains from previous Marvel projects assembled to carry out missions for the U.S. government. There's Florence Pugh, who's going to return as Yelena Belova. Sebastian Stan was going to come back as Bucky Barnes. David Harbour was going to be the Red Guardian. Olga Kurilenko was going to be the Taskmaster. John Kamen, the Ghost, or Hannah John Kamen, and Wyatt Russell playing U.S. Agent. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was going to return as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Newcomers include Beef co-star Stephen Yeun in what is supposed to be a, quote, significant role. So, Thunderbolts isn't the first Marvel movie to hit a picket sign-sized brick wall. Production on Blade has also paused because of the strike. Like Thunderbolts, the vampire superhero film starring Mahershala Ali was supposed to start filming in June. In that case, the problem was timing. Marvel hired True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto to rewrite the script just a week before the writer's strike began. Hollywood hasn't been ground to a halt just yet, but as the strike that began May 2nd continues, industry business is beginning to suffer. Aziz Ansari's directorial debut called Good Fortune was also paused. That movie was going to star Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen. And if that noise that you're hearing, no, not the crowd behind me, there's this other noise. Well, I guess it's a silent noise. It's a huge silent yawn that should make your speakers rumble with the intensity of the yawn. That is what I am yawning over. That unbelievable amount of energy put into a movie. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. The last place on earth. I guess I'm not a huge Seth Rogen fan or Aziz Ansari, but to some of you, they are the greatest things on the planet. Keanu Reeves, I won't knock. I draw the line there. Well, studio contracts with the Directors Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA both expired June 30th. The Directors Guild of America began negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers earlier this month. So they begin negotiations. SAG-AFTRA begins negotiations June 7th. And in a sign of how that guild is feeling, leadership has already put a strike authorization to vote to members. Yikes. Ugh. Yeah. That is very difficult. Here are these cool people that get to be really creative and maybe write something that's good, although the majority of it is not. Let's just be honest. The stuff that's out there today is horrid. That comes out, come on, Shazam 2. And that guy went to high school with my ex-wife. That guy is really nice. I met him before he got popular. And he had listened to me on the radio when I was doing radio in Ventura County. So, and he mentioned my show that I used to do, the Santa Fe Cafe. But gosh, they just throw so much CGI at this stuff. And it's just the same thing every single movie. And somebody, unfortunately, is paying for all that dribble. Hey, you know what today is? If you're listening to this today, well, you must be listening to this today because you're listening to it. But if the day that I'm talking about in specific is May 27th, which it probably isn't. A lot of people listen to this podcast much later in the future, which is where we're going to spend the rest of our lives. The future. But today is National Grape Day. My mom liked grapes. When we remember her, it's been now past the year, but on our anniversary of remembering her, we put out some grapes because she loved grapes. She'd always put out grapes for me when I'd fly to Florida to see her. I miss her. Oh, the podcast picture. I didn't mention that. I took a couple cool pictures today in downtown Oakland. I'll go with that. Maybe a picture of Florida when I used to visit my mom. We'll do that soon. And we got to get a podcast picture with the late great Basil the Boxer too. And we got to get a podcast picture with the amazing Rocky. Not the squirrel, but the cat. My house cat. And then the feral cat that adopted me, Patches. I've posted a lot of pictures of Patches lately, but we got to get another one. He's just the funniest looking guy. He's such a sweet cat. He's been sleeping at my feet at night now. And, you know, it's not winter. It's warmer now. He could be sleeping outside, but he wants to be inside. He wants to be close to me. That's awesome. Somebody sent me a cool little video on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Mike's Daily Podcast. But it was I guess it's gone viral. The guy who befriended a feral cat, and he was planting a lot of catnip around his house, and the cat loved it. And then after a while, he started coming in. It's cool. Hopefully, that is a friendship that will last a long time. So, along with the wonderful writer's strike we have in California, that's going to cost us a whole lot of money and get us even further into debt. Thank you, Gavin Newsom, for what you may or may not have done to get us into debt. And I'm sure there's a long diatribe about that, someone saying somewhere on some podcast or in some article somewhere. But the Bureau of Labor Statistics sent me an email. And apparently we had less job openings this month than we did last month. About 70,000 less job openings. And the job openings rate in California was 4.8 in March, down almost a whole point from a percentage point than the national rate. The national rate is 5.8. In March, California had, 606,000 hires. And people left their jobs in the month of March. There were 300,603. Wow. Mike cannot read numbers, can he? Let's do that again. 363,000. There we go. They were quits. It's where it's like when you're writing out the check, where you put the words. I gotta get better with that. I don't ever write a check, thank God, for that high. Good heavens. That'd be a big A check. So that many were quits. About 100,000 less, more than 100,000 less were layoffs. People just saying, get out of here. Get. The ratio of unemployed persons per job opening in California was 0.9 in December compared to 0.6 nationally. There you go. That's what people say when they're done talking about whatever they're talking about. They say, there you go. Now, I produce a podcast for a guy in the Bay Area named Rob Black. He's got a podcast called Rob Black and Your Money. Very helpful podcast. He wrote the following. NVIDIA catapulted, like they had a catapult that they had stolen from Monty Python. And they catapulted a tech rally this past week. Did you hear about that? Yes. They did extremely well. There is more uncertainty, though, in the stock market after the minutes from the Federal Reserve showed officials are split on whether or not to pause rate hikes. They never, ever, they're going to do it. They're going to pause the interest rate hikes. And then they don't. It's just, it's like, why even bring it up now? It's ridiculous. Global investment in energy is slated to hit around $2.8 trillion this year, with over $1.7 trillion of that set to go on clean energy technologies, like electric vehicles, as well as renewables and storage. Clean energy has apparently doing well. Finland's renewable power strategy is paying off as its energy has fallen into negative prices, and mortgage rates are above 7%. Yikes. A sign that real estate prices are likely to start trending lower. So may not be the best time to sell a house or to buy a house. So that means housing market is going to slow down. But maybe you're not even thinking about that. Maybe you're thinking about traveling. Maybe you are traveling. It is a very busy weekend for air travel is what people are predicting. United, Delta, and American Airlines think this is going to be one of the busiest Memorial Day holidays in more than a decade, expecting to fly close to 3.4 million passengers starting on Thursday of last week through Tuesday of next week. Since 2005, the busiest Memorial Day weekend. It's also a big weekend in terms of setting the tone for the summer travel. For international travel, it will see booming overseas summer demand. High airfares are evident of that booming demand. Airfares to Europe are averaging $1,300 for a round trip, 50% higher than last year and 40% above the 2019 levels pre-pandemic. Domestic demand looks strong as seat capacity is set to be 17% higher than the same weekend last year. However, domestic ticket prices are beginning to cool off. The average airfare round trip sold in April fell to 6%. It fell 6% rather, so the average is now $551, the average ticket price. It is the first year-over-year decline after 25 consecutive months of increases in airline tickets domestically, not internationally. More than 3,000 flights were canceled last year over Memorial Day weekend. Do you remember that? And yeah, NVIDIA doing really well with their catapult and all of that. Their stock soared 26%. Its market value got an additional $199 billion added. Thanks to the growing generative artificial intelligence market. Yes, AI. You've been hearing all about it. Never stops. Just like the debt ceiling. Just like all that. The interest rate's going to never decrease. NVIDIA increased its second quarter revenue forecast to $11 billion, more than 50% ahead of Wall Street's estimate. The company's AI chipsets help drive the technology behind one of the biggest AI apps, basically, what is being used. It's called OpenAI Chatbot, or ChatGPT rather, sorry. So their AI chipsets NVIDIA is what's powering the technology behind OpenAI's ChatGPT, as well as Alphabet's chatbot, which is trying to catch up. It's called Bard. The proliferation of generative AI across various verticals, coupled with a fully committed and currently underutilized supply chain, will support sequential growth, said Rob Black. So generative AI and investments in large language models, or LLMs, is also driving robust demand. And Rob also said, in 25 years of covering tech stocks, or tech talks, he said, I have never seen a guidance range of this magnitude on a large tech name, and that speaks to our thesis that the monetization of AI is well underway. Interesting, huh? That's what's going on. Hey, we're outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Look who is here. Oh my God, these are Chely Shoehart, gift shop writer. Wow, I really like ChatGPT. It tells me all kinds of things, Mike Matthew. What does it tell you? It tells me like what to do every day, because I ask it, hey, what should I do today? And it tells me all kinds of things, Mike Matthew. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, well, I have my little app here that I use through Bing, and I use Bing because they give you points. So you're basically getting points to use AI. And let's see. Okay, what should I do today? And let's see. I gotta put it in chat mode.
Live and loco.
It says that depends on what you like to do and what the weather is like. Do you have interests? Do you have any hobbies or interests? No, I don't have any hobbies.
Life grand.
What?
How should I end my podcast today? Let's see what this says. And
Okay. All right.
oh, it's not.
Let's go.
All right.
Here we go. Oh,
It's a nightmare of a show.
oh.
Ending your podcast episode is an important way to leave a lasting impression on your listeners and encourage them to take action or stay connected with you. According to some web sources, some of the best ways to end a podcast are: ask people to follow/subscribe, leave a review, or share your show. This can help you grow your audience and get more feedback from your fans. Ask people to join your online community. This can help you build a loyal fan base and keep the conversation going beyond the episode. Point people to the show notes page on your website. This can help you provide more value and resources to your listeners and drive traffic to your site. Recap the episode and end with a call to action. This can help you summarize the main points and insights from your guest or topic and direct your listeners to do something that benefits them or you. You can use one or more of these methods to end your podcast.
Wow, AI is here to put us to sleep. She's right. Wait, is that the right gender? It's right. It's right. I should do all that at the end of my podcast, and I don't. And I don't have show notes. I have a blog website. Blog. That's so 1990s. I have a web blog. A weblog. It's called a blog. And it's at mikesdailypodcast.com. But there you go. I'm not going to end the podcast, though, regardless of what she said. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Wow, Mike, she's very helpful, if that is the correct gender. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think it is very helpful. All right, maybe we'll just call her Sally. Sally is very helpful. Sally, did you poison me with evening nightshade? And that was my little reference to that Tim Burton movie with all the little puppets and whatnot. Look, it is time now for the segment called Let's go back with Matthews.
Let's go back with Matthews.
Yes. Let's go there. Let's go backwards in time. Let's go back 35 years? 35. Almost 35 years ago to 1989 when yours truly was on the radio. And this is all pre-AI, pre-this, that, pre-the other thing. And this is back then. And I was on a radio station called Y97. And let's laugh at me together, shall we? And enjoy the music of back then. That would be Genesis, and that's all.
MTV News. You hear it first.
Sure recorded a lot of this song, maybe.
The all-new 197 of Mike Matthews. What was the cheapest date you've ever had?
Well, I went out with this guy and he made me pay.
He made you pay?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty cheap.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Teresa.
Teresa, where are you calling from?
Montecito.
Okay, Teresa just picked up the latest from Cheap Trick, Lap of Luxury, and plus she qualifies... Whoa, excuse me. She qualifies to see them in concert March 3rd at the Los Angeles Amphitheater from the all-new 197. Here's the Choir Boys.
Aw, what happened to the Choir Boys? They were awesome. Baby! Oh, well. I loved them.
All-new 197 and Mike Matthews. Let's take a look at the weather. We take a look at the weather. Partly cloudy with a low tonight of 45. Currently in Santa Barbara at 60. And coming up, we've got Fine Young Cannibals, Boys Club, and so much more on the all-new 197.
Something strange is happening.
And so much more. That's when you don't know what you've got coming up.
All-new 197 is KHTY, Santa Barbara's official hit music station. Nobody plays more music than the all-new 197.
FYC. Fine Young Cannibals. Oh, you too.
Remember, if someone should ask you what your favorite radio station is, tell them you listen to the all-new 197.
38 Special. There you go. Oh, yeah. That's right. You didn't notice it, but actually our format slightly changed while I was recording all of that on a air check tape, as we used to call it. Yes, a little cassette. You throw it in a tape recorder and it would record every time you turned on the microphone. Well, in the process of working for this radio station, they switched formats. They basically told the DJs, don't talk that much, just read these liners. Read these 3x5 cards. Whatever we print on them, just read it. And that will be what's on the air. So I was very fortuitous later on, about 12 years later, 13, 14 years later, to work at a country station where my boss was like, you just have fun, do whatever, have a good time. Don't destroy the station, don't get the FCC on our tails, don't cause any problems, don't cause any lawsuits, that kind of thing. And this is sort of what ended up happening. It was a request show. Packed Dad's Day. We'll also hear from Martina McBride, and this is the new group Six Wires. That's right, and we were coming up on Father's Day. Let's see.
Friday, it's the K-Hey Country Quiz. If you'd like to play the K-Hey Country Quiz, call me now at 650-KHAY. We'll pick a contestant to play the K-Hey Country Quiz. You could win a delicious, original ice cream creation from those fantastic experts of ice cream making, Cold Stone Creamery. KHAY.
Are you an RN, LVN physical therapist?
That's amazing.
We have our contestant. It's Sandy from Moore Park. Sandy, let's look at the quiz wall and pick a topic from our three panels.
Oh, this is exciting.
Panel 1 says Katie Oslin, not Katie Lang.
Oh.
Panel 2 says Trick Ponies Baloney. And panel 3 says Hank Williams Jr.'s Rumors.
Do Katie Oslin.
Which one would you like, 1, 2, or 3?
Katie Oslin. Do Katie Oslin. Come on, do Katie Oslin.
Hello?
1, 2, or 3?
2.
Okay.
That was Trick Pony.
Follow along with me, Sandy.
Oh, by the way, so this is live, right? I'm actually taking the caller, going live, no delay. So if they drop a bomb of you know what kind, I'm not going to be able to stop it. It's just going to happen. That was the little known secret. at this radio station at this time. We had no delay. So when I would put them on live and I could tell, oh, they're probably a teenager and they're bored and they don't know what they're doing, I would have to I'd read the question or tell them the topic, and most of the time they'd be like, what? Huh? What? This is not even the millennial. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. In the early 2000s, that would be sort of the end of the millennials and the beginning of the Gen Zers, I'm thinking. Right?
Right.
Right?
Right?
And all the people that go right?
Right.
Oh, maybe that's what that was. But, and anyway, this wonderful caller obviously was really young and going, what? This is stupid. Right? And now she's probably running a huge company, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this is what she picked.
Trick Pony, Ira Dean, he's in the group. He's a good friend and former CMA nominee competitor. He competed in the CMAs with A, Blake Shelton, B, Billy Gilman, C, all of the above.
I'm going to say all of the above.
He was a former CMA nominee competitor. I believe that it was for best new artist.
Indicator for A.
You are absolutely correct.
Oh!
Enjoy the Cold Stone.
Blake Shelton. Interesting.
Fairy tales.
Smart person.
Just think of us as Nashville by the Sea. Gary Allen, The One. Chely, Right, Single White Female. Before that, we got that great song from Steve Holy, Good Morning Beautiful, the unplugged version. By the way, I hope you enjoyed our unplugged live summer concert show all weekend long that we did here on KHAY. Played a lot of great tracks that you can only hear on KHAY. We got Dixie Chicks coming up too. And the KH Cafe question, what is your favorite vacation destination? Oh, and one more thing I almost forgot. The Circus Vargas tickets and another chance to get qualified for the KH Ride to the Airport contest. We'll have another chance for you to get qualified for that at 11:15. So we're going into the gift shop to see our 18-year-old gift shop supervisor, Chely Shoehart.
Oh, here she is again.
Oh, yes, Matt Michaels. I really am.
Okay, so you really are?
No, Matt Michaels, I hate this place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you were doing a little sarcasm there.
Matt Michaels. Don't bring that lady out again.
No, I have to.
Sometimes your sarcasm crosses the line, I think.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
No, I really meant it that time.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Aw, sarcasm. Did you notice? So that station was KHAY. The first station I played you that I was on in 1989 was KHTY. What's that about? I didn't plan that. My career trajectory took me to two different stations in two different places with almost the exact same call letters. Trajectory and call letters, most difficult words for me to say for some reason. So it must be time for me to end the show and do a call to action. Is that what a call to action is? A call to action! And that would be go to the website, mikesdailypodcast.com, a myriad of things at my website, including the podcast picture, including the phone number to reach me, including every single show is at my website. Yes, all 2,615 shows. Though, I don't know, it might be in some different format, maybe on some other website. Some of the shows I uploaded to different websites. It's all there in some way or form. If not, I can probably find the old ones. It's on a hard drive that I hope still works. If I plug it in, it doesn't blow up. We'll see. But anyway, Café Anyway, thank you for listening to the whole show. And next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Thank you for listening.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for joining us here on this show. This is great.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!